losing a player, for maybe half a game or something like that, it can have a huge impact on the game, particularly the kind of the speed and pace it's played at. If you're playing with 14 men, it's much harder to get yourself set and get yourself organised when you're down those sort of numbers.
Certainly in championship football, it's extremely hard to get yourself set and get yourself going. We're almost ready to throw in here in TEG Cusack Park here in the senior football quarter final. A little bit of the unknown for Killucan, I suppose. They haven't been in a knockout game for a number of seasons now. A little bit of an unknown for them. Of course, Lomans, very, very seasoned team. Leinster finalists a couple of seasons ago, and it'll be all about how Killucan settle in this game, I presume, Paul.
Yeah, no, I think getting a decent start and getting a foothold in the game will be important for them.
Well, we're off and going here in TEG Cusack Park. First ball in, it's going straight into John Heslin. Ball straight into him, Heslin. He gets it after a little fumble there by the Killucan fullback, Frank Boyle. Heslin now on the left foot, swings it around. Frank, of course, would have known John through many years of playing inter-county football with him. Fola, you're Indy now. Fola looking to get the first score of the game. Ships it out to Whelan. It looks like it's going up and over the bar, and it is up and over the bar. It's a point for St. Lomans. Yeah, Paul Whelan, after barely 30 seconds. Gavin Flood.
He gave it away.
Lovely work by Gavin Flood there that time. Out it comes Paul Whelan now into the corner. O'Toole, Ronan O'Toole. He's gone through, he's started it up, he's gone. It looks like he's got fouled. It's over the shoulder and it's a foul. It's a foul. It's going to be a free in. Again, Paul, we've discussed this on many occasions and on many games here on Air VTV. The lazy tackle that are giving away frees. And if you give away frees to the likes of John Heslin and these guys that can knock it over the bar, it's just simply cannon fodder for them.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're chasing back and you want to get a hand on the ball, but you really got to be disciplined, try and get around in front of the player and stand him up. And when a player feels a hand coming over his shoulder, he goes down, and it's particularly with John Heslin on the field, regardless of where they are, they're good opportunities.
Heslin now, he's just on the 21-yard line, makes an angle for himself, but that's as wild as I've seen John Heslin kick a ball. It's dead straight across the goals, went to nobody, but it's still breaking around there, nobody putting their hand on it. Eventually it's getting cleared by Killucan, and it's going to be a free out. I'm not quite sure who got the hand. I think it was Darren Finn actually. The wing half forward got his hand on that ball.
Yeah,
we're back up and running again. It's kind of hard to see the numbers with Killucan now on the yellow background on it there. But that's a good interception by Sean Flanagan that time. But he gives it away, and gives it away rather cheaply. Killucan now trying to get their hand on the ball. Ronan O'Toole has it up along the sideline. It's going to be sideline ball. O'Toole kicks it and kicks it quickly straight into Kelvin Riley. Riley now gets it back. Goes heading for the goals. Chips it into TJ Cox. Been tightly marked by Mark Dunn, but Mark is standing off him a little bit this time, and he moves straight into him. TJ ships it out to Fola Indy. Back out to Kelvin Riley. Riley is going to have a kick across goal. He's looking for Sean Flanagan, I think, over the far side. That's wonderful work. Nicely passed out. Ronan O'Toole on the left foot. O'Toole kicks heads for goal, but I'm afraid that's gone to the left and it's gone wide. A good movement by St. Lomans that time. They had the great movement of the ball, Paul. They shipped it from one corner to the other corner, moved it very, very quickly. And they seem to be up for this game. They seem to want to put this game to bed very, very early.
Yeah, a lot of pace in it, and they moved the ball inside the Killucan 45 really early, and that created space for them to get on the ball.
Ball out to the centre of the field, and again it's a Lomans man on it. It's Fola Indy. He's got on a lot of ball very early. Out to Conor O'Donoghue, better known as the Mouse. Paul Whelan now. Whelan just outside the 45, gives it back out to Conrad Riley. It's all play ball here, it's keep ball, back to Kelvin Riley. Sean Flanagan now, head up looking for the pass, gives it back out to Conrad now heading towards goal, gives it back into Mousey still has the ball, ships it back to O'Toole. The puppet master is looking for his man inside, finds his man inside, John Heslin turns on the left foot, but he tries and gets it through, but it's gone through. It's a good goal chance here, is it? Yes, it's a goal. It's a goal. A goal for Sam McCartan. John Heslin looked like he had lost the ball that time.
John did fantastic there. He held off his
man. Here we have it on
replay.
Heslin looked to have lost the ball. It went back across the square. but John Heston somehow got his foot to it. He shipped it back on. Lovely little pass across. The cornerback almost got a hand to it, but he just couldn't get there. But it's a goal for St. Lomans, and it's now clear daylight, 1-1 to no score. 4 minutes gone here, and this first 5 minutes has been all blue and white. It's been all St. Lomans. They look really, really up for this game. They have been the dominant force here in the opening exchanges. Foley or Indy, back to Ronan O'Toole. This man controls everything that St. Lomans do. And he's on the attack again. Kicks it off the left foot. It's over across the goals, but again, this is the second one that he's kicked wide. A second wide for Ronan O'Toole. A second wide for St. Lomans Mullingar. But they have been totally dominant so far, Paul. And that goal is really after putting daylight between the sides.
Yeah, I mean, Killucan have started very, very slow. They haven't, any time they've gone on attack, they've actually got turned over, and Lomans have been able to hit them at pace before they get set up at the back, and Lomans have created opportunities. I think they've had 2 wides and you know, obviously scored the goal and the points. So, you know, they've had 4 decent attacks really in the space of 5 minutes.
And they're having a problem at the centre of the field. They don't seem to have come to grips with anything at the centre of the field at all yet. It's Killucan look shaken, and I see one of the Greville brothers is down over the far side. Is it centre half back Gary or is it
it's Robbie?
It's Robbie actually. Yeah, he seemed to have taken a little bit of a lick over the far side of the field. Nothing untoward, of course, but he really needs to get into the game. He's going to be probably marking Ronan O'Toole. But there's a great catch, an absolutely super catch that time by Owen Keys. Keys ships it on now into the forward line, but that's a great block down, a super block down by Rory Sheehan. And the fact it was Sean Kelly with a great block down there. That Killucan had the chance to get the first score of the game, and it's shifted straight away down to the far end of the field. Conrad Riley now runs into Mark Dunn. Riley still retains possession. Back out it comes. Sam McCartan ships it back out to Kelvin Riley. He's been pushed forward completely now. Out to Conor O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue straight into the corner. Looking to get on the ball. Everybody looking to get on the ball again. It's Paul Whelan now. Whelan back to Conor O'Donoghue. Mousey now. He's way over the far side. Nobody coming to meet him. Conor is still going. If they let him keep going, he's going to get a score. And that's a great pass in. Back across the square. TJ Cox. And it's a second goal. It's a second goal. Great work by Conor O'Donoghue that time. And Killucan went to sleep completely that time.
Yeah, Mousey just ran into acres of space. Killucan, nobody went to him. John Heston just fisted across the square, and then it was just finished nicely just outside the square into the net.
And that all started with Conor O'Donoghue's pass.
Yeah, I mean, it actually started further back. I think it was Gavin Flood went for a shot, and just telegraphed it, and he got blocked, and it just went straight down the field.
And St. Lomans really shown their intent so far, Paul. That's 2 goals in the opening 7 minutes. I mean, if you wanted an ideal start, you can't get it any better than that. A point for Paul Whelan, a goal for Sam Carton, a goal for TJ Cox. It's 2-1 to no score here after 7 minutes, and Killucan must be shell-shocked after that opening start. But this has been some wonderful football by St. Lomans. That last one, a great run by Mousey Donoghue, came straight through the centre. Didn't know whether to go for him, whether to go away from him. The Killucan defence was at 6s and 7s. It chipped it into Heston. Heston saw that TJ Cox was on the edge of the square, and TJ made absolutely no problem putting that into the back of the net for a second goal for St. Lomans here. Killucan really need to start settling. They need to get a score on the board here, Paul.
Yeah, no, definitely. You just need to be patient now and get themselves organised at the back. First of all, just get themselves back into the game in the middle third particularly, and just start working it up and creating opportunities. Like that last goal, you know, it was an opportunity for Killucan really to score and create an opportunity to score, and they just turned it over, and they're on the attack again now.
Killucan now on the ball. Devin Hill, one of their stars. Devin goes past 1, goes past 2, goes past Rory Sheehan. Ships it back out. That's a ball across the square. Is it going to be kept in? Yes, it is. It's kept in at the far end. Can Killucan get the first score of the game? Nicely kicked that time. It's a lovely score, a lovely high ball that time. And it's the number 10 that gets that for them. Aaron Kiernan, a nice score for Killucan.
Yeah, that was a well-worked score by Killucan, but Lomans are back out in the attack from that kick out straight away now.
That was a lovely score by Kiernan, though, and if ever a team needed it, Paul, it was Killucan needed that one. Devin Hill, of course, made it, but St. Lomans back on the attack again. Cox has gone inside. There's no one gone with him. David Bryan comes out. Cox is still there, gets up off the ground. Looks like he was fouled. Was he? No, it wasn't. It's come back off the post, and TJ Cox, straight as a die, he just taps it into the back of an empty net. Another great goal for St. Lomans. It's a third goal here for TJ Cox. Second goal for TJ, third for St. Lomans Mullingar.
somebody pulled on the ball for Lomans, it hit the post and came back out and just dropped at TJ Cox's feet, and he just tapped it in.
I'm not quite sure who had the shot off the post that time, Paul. I think it could have even been Ronan O'Toole that time, was it?
Possibly. And like TJ was through. David Bryan did a good job at closing him down, lost possession, but there was two Killucan players there who could have picked the ball up, and they didn't, and it ended up in the back of the net.
And this is an absolute goal fest so far. 3-1 to St. Lomans, 1 point to Killucan, 9 points between the sides, and we've only 9 minutes gone here, and Killucan are completely shell-shocked here. It's been all blue and white. It's been a sea of blue, as they say. And John Hessler now, is he going to get in and the scoring act? No, he's not, because that one dropped short into the hands of David Bryan. David Bryan now. Killucan really need to get going. They have to get their shape back together again. We said it last night at the game in Lake Point Park that if ever a team needed a water break, it was Milltown Pass. They got the water break. They completely changed their shape and they worked it again. And if Killucan are going to get back into this game, they're really going to need to get their shape. Ball into the forward line now. Out it comes again. Killucan playing around the fringes. Lomans have got back in droves. It's Owen Keys now. Ships it back out to number 15. Number 15 is Kieran Doyle. Kieran Doyle looking for Devin Hill in the corner, but that's great defending by Kelvin Riley. Old experienced head over a young gun there. TJ Cox now. TJ playing almost as a half back nearly at the moment. Back out to Kelvin Riley. Kelvin head up. Finds brother Conrad. Out to the centre it goes again. Paul Whelan now. Centre the field. Lomans just controlling the play at the moment. They're dictating all the movement of the game so far. Foley or Indy. It's been a masterclass from the Delvin Road side. They've been absolutely excellent in that point. The 3 goals were excellent goals, but that's well intercepted by Killucan, and they move back out of it again. Frank Boyle ships it out to Shawnee Quinn. Shawnee Quinn ships it out this side. Gavin Flood. Flood now going long, but there's nobody there. The only man that's there is Sean Kelly in a blue jersey, and that was a rather wasteful ball. Foley now into the corner looking for Ronan O'Toole. Can't find him. Can't find him because Robbie Greville is going to pick this one up, and he has his goalie waiting around him. But almost immediately St. Lomans are giving away that possession in that end quarter there. They've retreated back almost to the halfway line and are making Killucan come at them. Gary Greville now with the ball. Back out to Frank Boyle. Frank, they must be shell-shocked after that initial start, but Frank is going through with it. Out to Sean Quinn. Quinn now, head up, ships it into the corner, looking for Hill. Hill has it. Hill turns, he's onto the right foot. He ships it off the edge of the right foot, but I'm afraid that's gone to the left and it's gone wide. And already we have a substitution here. A substitution for Killucan.
Joey Boyle's coming in.
Joey Boyle is going to make an appearance now. It's who he's going to come on for. Stephen Morley, of course, has seen that there is a problem here. Who he's going to come on for, I'm not 100% sure. There doesn't seem to be anybody heading for the sideline as yet.
Gavin Flood is.
It's Gavin Flood, I think, the man he was supposed to replace number 17, and that's 12 minutes gone. He had to do something. I mean, it's 3-1 to a point. 12 minutes gone here, and it's taken drastic action. But Stephen Morley has put Joey Boyle back into the fray.
So Joy's come in back, just straight swap at wing forward.
And they needed something, Paul. I'm not so sure that wing forward was a position that they were struggling at. Ronan O'Toole now with the ball. O'Toole gets past one. Gary Greville is miles behind him. O'Toole has all the time in the world, and if you give him all the time in the world, he's going to do exactly what he did there. Another point for St. Lomans from Ronan O'Toole. Very easy, very simply. No one coming to meet him. He just slotted the ball over the bar. And it was absolutely simple football. This Killucan defence is under tremendous pressure at the moment, Paul. 3-2 after 13 minutes. A single point for Killucan. And really at this stage, it could be even damage limitation for Killucan, Paul. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's still plenty of opportunity for Killucan to get back in the game. I think, the key to the Lomans' performance so far is they're letting the ball inside early into spaces before Killucan have a chance to get their defenders back in place and get their half forwards out to block up that space. And that's serving them well so far.
But it has been a masterclass in Rising. But there's a great catch that time. Wonderful, wonderful catch that time. Connor Jordan ships it on straight away. Joey Boyle, his first action in the game, looking for Hill. It seems to be their modus operandi is to get the ball into Hill as quickly as possible. He ships it back out. Owen Ahern back out to wing half forward. Aaron Kieran. Kieran now goes past one, goes past two, still going with the ball. Runs into a bottleneck though of a lot of St. Lomans players. It's kicked out and it's going out over the sideline, but it's a sideline ball to Killucan. Kieran Doyle looks like he's going to be the man to take it.
And St. Lomans ball. His Killucan player kicked it out there, so rightly called.
It's actually gone the other way. I actually thought that was a Killucan ball, Paul. I thought it was flicked out by the Lomans man. I could have been wrong.
No, it was Aaron Kieran was in possession. He was kicking it back to one of his colleagues,
and he
when he lost control.
It well. Good refereeing and good work by the linesman there. That's excellent stuff. Out it comes again. O'Toole. Look at the space that Ronan O'Toole has been given. He's virtually on his own. Ships it on to Rory Sheehan. This guy will run all day and all night for you. Back again. O'Toole. Nobody tracked his run. He's still going with the ball. Loses it. I thought he was fouled that time, Paul. I thought it was a grab of the arm, but referee Pat Fox is allowing the game continue. Killucan come back up with the ball. Cormac Boyle ships it out this side of the field. Back out again. Lovely ball across the field. Owen Keys now. Keys heading, bearing down on goals. Bearing down. He has men in front of him. Nicely shipped on. Lovely work by Gary Greville, was it? Indeed it was Robbie Greville, but it's dropped short into the hands of Jason Daly. A rather easy one, Paul, and that's one that gives coaches nightmares. I know it for a fact. You don't want to drop a ball short. You'd rather kick it 5 miles wide than kick it into the goalie's hands. Yeah, it gives Lomans an opportunity to get back on the attack again, and just looking down the field here, you can see how much space the Lomans forward line have, but Killucan are at it again. Broken up again. Good work by Oni Ahern. Back out to Devon Hill. Hill now off the right foot. Has he got the distance and has he got the accuracy? Yes, he has.
I think actually it was Aaron Kiernan again.
Was it Aaron Kiernan? I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen. That's Aaron Kiernan. A lovely score. Good work by Owen Ahern that time.
And Lomans are out again. Quick kick out and they're on the attack.
Lomans back on the attack again, though. Straight away it's back down to the opposite end of the field. It's 3-2 to 2 points. 9 points divide the sides here. It's been a very one-sided first quarter in this game. Ronan O'Toole called for the ball that time. Mark Dunn was more than unlucky not to get a grip on it there. Kelvin Riley now. Riley has been very instrumental in the opening few minutes here. He's still going with the ball. Ships it into Fola Indi. Fola drops it onto the ground. Gets a second bite at the cherry and gets it this time. And powers on. Fola now. Kicks it off the right foot. It looks a good score, Paul. And it is. It's a great score. It's gone up and over the bar.
Yeah, Fola was very, 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 very good there. He persisted with the ball on the ground and picked it up. And his speed just took him away into a little bit of space and he tucked it away over the bar. I think we're just at the water break now. Like a big challenge for Killucan actually is figuring out what to do about Ronan O'Toole. He's dropping way deeper than we've seen him in a lot of games, and he's just picking up a lot of ball and setting the actual pace of it. And they got to figure out whether they want Robbie to actually mark him tightly or drop back into the pocket and let somebody from outside pick him up. But really at this stage they need to get a handle on Ronan O'Toole. He's really pulling the strings for Lomans at the moment.
It's just complete shell shock here, I'd say, for Killucan at the moment, Paul. It's absolute shell shock. They look like a team that have been hit by a bus, and that's exactly what has happened. And that bus has been driven by a fella in a blue jersey, because St. Lomans Mullingar are seriously up for this game. They have been absolutely excellent in that opening quarter and well worth their value for their 9-point lead, even 10-point lead, Paul. They have been totally dominant, and with all due respect to Killucan, this game, it could be even worse at this stage.
Yeah, in reality, when you look at it on the kind of balance of play, Lomans have been dominant, and really the difference between the two teams is those 3 goals. And Lomans just were very, very clinical in creating those opportunities. On the balance of play, Killucan haven't really settled into it the way they want to play, and really they just need to start creating some opportunities for themselves now.
So kick out for Killucan by David Bryan out towards the centre of the field. Nobody gets up for it because it's grabbed once again. Killucan are losing that battle at the centre of the field, unfortunately. Having said that, St. Lomans have 2 players actually holding themselves now at the moment, but Heslin is free. Heslin is free, dead straight in front of the goals. And what happens when Heslin is free, dead straight in front of the goals? That's what happens. It's a point. Far too easy, far too much space for John Heslin. He had all the time in the world. He could have sat back and had a little drink there at that stage. He could have had an extra drink at the water break that time. Yeah, lovely score. 3-4 to St. Lomans. 2 points to Killucan. And I see Fola Indi. He took a belt, but I think he took it from his own man. They both jumped for the same ball. Himself and Sean Flanagan seem to jump for the same ball. Fola has come off the worst of it, and he's down injured, and it's not looking good for him, Paul, to be honest.
No, he's up now. But I think in reality what you're seeing is on the Killucan restarts, their kickouts and so on, Lomans are breaking the ball and winning all the breaks, and that's giving them momentum going forward. And like again, won the break, early ball inside, John Heslin wins it, sits back in the pocket, bang, over the bar, and that's been pretty much their formula thus far.
But Killucan they're not getting close enough to the players that they're supposed to be marking, Paul. That's the one thing I've noticed so far. Nobody has got near Ronan O'Toole. Nobody has got near John Heslin. They're getting the ball in huge space, and if you give those guys space and time, they will punish you, and they will punish you to the nth degree. Ball out to the far side of the field now. It's Darren Finn. Finn looking for the corner. Who is it? Devin Hill. Hill, it looks like it's a foul on the shoulder, but the foul I think was on Darren Finn that time. It's back across again. It's going to be a free into Killucan. They really need to steady the ship in this second quarter, Paul, if they're to have any sort of competition for this game. If they have any sort of fight left in them, they're going to have to show it here and try and keep this scoreline down, or eat into that St. Lomans lead in the next 11 minutes before half time.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep chipping away and just get the scoreboard taken for themselves and just clip off a few points and get back into it. And I think if they go into half time 8 or 9 points down, they'll certainly rally.
And it's David Bryan coming up to take the kick for Killucan. The goalkeeper strikes it well, but I'm afraid that one has gone to the left and wide. And
they're the opportunities that need to be taken. Every opportunity to get up against Lomans and get a score on the board to keep themselves in the game.
Yeah, and Brian, of course, playing the almost Stephen Cluxton-like role now, as we call it, the goalkeeper coming up to take the freeze. But again, Lomans quickly on the break. Ship back out. Sam McCartan now. McCartan with plenty of space. TJ back across the goals. Looking for Heslin. Heslin grabs it at the first time. Doesn't get it the first time. Ships it out the second time to Paul Whelan. Paul Whelan is surrounded, and that's great defending. Much better defending by Killucan. They got around him in droves. They weren't there at the initial one, but they got around him in droves for the second chance to take the ball away.
That was another goal
defended by Killucan that time.
That was another excellent opportunity from Lomans. TJ Cox put a ball across the square, and if John Heslin just jumped and punched it rather than
if he'd have caught it, Paul, it was only hitting one place, and that was the onion bag. He would have rattled the net, and maybe David Bryan in the centre of it as well. Killucan now trying to get back into this game. They need something. They need a spark. They need someone to get on the ball. There's a foul. Going to be a free in for Killucan. Good work that time by Robbie Greville. But again, there's not a whole lot of movement in front of it. In it goes, into the corner. Owen Ahern now. This young lad has pace to burn, but he's run into a cul-de-sac and it's out over the end line. It's going to be a sideline ball, and this time it is going to Killucan. This time it was knocked out of his hand, and this time it is going to be kicked by the men in saffron.
Yeah, another line ball for Lomans. Killucan are being forced to play into the corners and down the wings, and it's just really, really crowded in the middle, and they're just not getting the opportunities. When they get out to the corners, it's really hard to create scoring opportunities from there.
And maybe we're being a little bit disingenuous. That's a good defence by St. Lomans. They have cornered them into these, corralled them into these spaces. Shawnee Quinn now, he was fouled. It's going to be a free in. Is Brian going to come up for this one again? I doubt it. And Pat Fox there, some absolute nonsense that time. David Whelan, I think it was, threw the ball away, and it's going to be definitely a scoring free now. It wasn't a scoring free the first time, but that's rather silly, Paul. And again, it's back to this silly frees that are given away, silly little add-ons that are adding to it as well. We've noticed it in many of the games so far. I'm afraid though that one has gone to the left and it's gone wide. Aaron Kiernan, I think, with that one again. He was looking for his third score. He's the only scorer, I think, for Killucan so far, and seriously struggling here in TEG Cusick Park. You're live here with us on the ERV TV. Now, Conor Jordan, he's gone back out to the centre of the field, ships it on to Keys. Owen Keys now ploughs through one, going for the second one. He's still going with the ball. Keys ships it on again. Nice work. Kieran Doyle now, better known as a hurler, but that's a nice ball back across the square. Back out to Conor Jordan. Jordan looking to kick it off the right foot. He kicks it again, but that's another poor strike at the goals.
Killucan are getting back into the game now. There's about 3 or 4 wides there in a row from
They're
Killucan.
getting the grips at the centre of the field, Paul, is where they seem to be getting the grips of the most at the moment. They're challenging at the centre of the field. They're not all going up for the one ball. And there again, but this time it's Ronan O'Toole that gets caught. Ronan O'Toole gets caught. He's after dragging himself back up off the ground, and he moves it on straight away to Conrad Riley. O'Toole back with it again. Turns, twists, makes all sorts of shapes. This guy can do anything. Into the corner. Conrad now ships it back across the square to Shawnee Flanagan. Can Flanagan get a hand to it? No, he can't. That's a little bit lucky for Killucan that time. Sean Quinn was more than fortunate to get his foot on that ball that time. Again, Paul, another goal chance. They really are cutting this defence, and they're making some great runs and making some great moves to get into those positions. St. Lomans really cutting Killucan apart when they need to.
Yeah, I think the early ball inside is really serving Lomans well, and then they're getting runners off the shoulder, and very, very hard to defend against that, and they're not allowed Lomans get their numbers behind the ball, which they've been doing in games up until now.
Again, there's another slip by Killucan, but they've got the ball back. Markey done now. Markey on the 40. Ships it into the corner, looking for Devon Hill. Hill tries to get a hand to it, doesn't get a hand to it. It's cleared, and it's going to be cleared. It's going to be a free out for St. Lomans. Yes, it is. Good work that time by Kelvin Riley. He's fouled the second time as well. Going to be a free out. Pat Fox is going to bring it up now because Killucan did not retreat. It's going to be a free out to St. Lomans. Ball goes back to Jason Daly in the goal. St. Lomans are simply toying around with the ball at the moment now. They can play the ball. When was the last time you seen a player played across his own square so early in the game, Paul? There's no pressure being put on the St. Lomans players at all. They have the freedom of the park so far. John Heslin has even gone out to the centre of the field this time because he can trust that his forwards are well capable. The rest of the forwards are well capable of getting in a nice ball in. Who's going to get there? That's great work though by the experience that time of Frank Boyle. If anyone can lead a recovery for Killucan, that's the man that'll do it. Owen Keys now ships it out to the far side to Mark Dunn. Mark, more hair on his face than he has on his head, but that's just the way he is. Mark still going, gets it back across into the centre, just at the D. Everybody rooting for it, but eventually it comes back out. It's come back out to a Killucan man. Owen Ahern now with the ball. Is he going to have a pop at goal? No, he pops it into the corner. Is there anyone there for it? They're trying to get a goal. They're trying to make some sort of shape on it. It's a kick this time, and it's up over the bar. I think it was Kieran Doyle actually got the final score at that one, Paul.
Yeah, no, they worked out well, and they retained possession and were able to pick out the pass inside. And like for probably the last 5 minutes, actually, Lomans have retreated a lot and trying to shore up their defence and keep it tight there and use that as a platform for going forward. And Killucan are kind of getting more ball in the middle third.
But that was some excellent work by the Killucan D and by the Killucan attack that time. They got in. It's the first time that they've got in together to put in any sort of cohesive act of defiance. They really tried to get back on the ball, and when they got it, they used it well. Now, could this be another score? That ball has gone high, and this one has gone over the bar as well. I think that was Kieran Doyle again a second time, Paul.
Yeah, off the outside of his right boot, and Killucan are winning the midfield battle the last 5 to 7 minutes, and it's given them a platform. Most of the games have been played up inside the Lomans 45 at the moment.
Yeah, Kieran Doyle the second one though, Paul. Yeah. 4 points to Killucan, 3-4, 3 goals in the opening 12 minutes here in TEG Cusack Park has really put St. Lomans in the driving seat. But Killucan, in fairness to them, they have really got their act together and they've really put it up to it. They're winning that midfield battle now. They had lost it in the early stages. Ball into the corner, into Hill. Hill has a goal chance. Yes, he has. Oh, he's blasted it wide. He's blasted it wide. Devon Hill, you would have put your mortgage on him.
Oh, what a catch.
Look at this for a chance. This was a game breaker. This one could have turned the game in their favour. Right into the corner, right on top of him. He did everything right, and he just slipped it to the left and wide of the post. The only place he couldn't go for it.
Oh, he just blasted it, and rather than just, if he was a bit more controlled, he could just slid along the ground, and it was an easy goal for him. He was 1-on-1 with the keeper, and really Killucan really needed that score. That would have brought them right back into it.
And that could have made a right good first half, a great recovery to it. It would have only made a 6 points difference, Paul, coming into half time after being so completely dominated in that quarter, this first half. It's Paul Whelan again. Whelan heading towards goal. He has space in front of him. Is he going to chip it across the goal, or is he going to chip it over the bar?
It's gone wide.
He's chipped it across the goal. It's not even gone wide yet. It is now.
It's gone wide.
I think it's gone wide. It is now. Paul Whelan with a rather simple chance that time, Paul. He could have nearly fisted that ball over the bar.
Yeah, no, I'd be disappointed with that. That was a straightforward opportunity.
And again, it was the space he had in front of him. Nobody coming to meet him, there was no urgency to try and get on the ball. It was so simple for him to keep ploughing on, and he really had acres of space and acres of time to make use of that ball. Davy Bryan, we're 28 minutes here into the first half. It's 3-4 St. Lomans. It's 4 points to Killucan. It's been the blue show here in the first half. They have played all the football here in TEG Cusack Park. Shawnee Quinn now coming out to get the ball, but he doesn't get there because that's great work by TJ Cox. Cox now back into the centre, into Flanagan. Sean Flanagan drops the ball this time, loses it, runs into his man, but again it's Ronan O'Toole. Who else? O'Toole, Jinx once, Jinx twice. chips it across the goal, but that one is another nightmare for a coach because it's gone straight into the hands of David Bryan, and Killucan will come back on the attack again. They're the ones that kill a coach. They're so annoying. You would rather put them wide than put them over the bar.
Yeah, the wind is kind of blowing across there.
Can the Killucan get a hand on it? No, they can't, because it's a foul. It's a foul on Owen Keys that time, and back we're on the go again. Killucan now looking to get one or more score maybe before half time. Ships it on this time. Lovely work that time by Robbie Greville. Robbie shifts it on into his centre half forward partner Cormac Boyle. Boyle now out to the centre. Conor Jordan. Good work by Kieran Doyle, and he calls for the mark. Kieran Doyle is going to have a go. He's probably just outside the
D, just outside the top of the D.
Just outside the top of the D, yeah, but he's dead straight in front of the goals, Paul. Makes a good connection with it, and that's a nice score. That's a lovely score from Kieran Doyle. That's his third one.
Yeah, and Kieran's coming to the fore now in the last 5 or 6 minutes. He's won a couple of important balls inside, and I think he scored the last 3 points, has he?
Yeah, and look, it was something they had to do. They had to try and steady the ship, Paul. In fairness, St. Lomans haven't scored in 12 minutes now, but Killucan have tagged on 3 points in that interim, and they're looking to get another one here. Kieran Doyle again. Can he kick a fourth score? No, that one is going to drop short. It's going to drop into the hands of Jason Daly. Daly coming out with the ball. Daly is dispossessed. He's rather lucky there. Because if the slightest little load of touch to that one, it could have been a wide open. There was nothing in behind him. Ball out the far side of the field. Sean Flanagan now into the centre of the field. O'Toole, he's pulling all the strings here once more, as he did against Shandona, as he did against Terrell's Pass. He is the go-to man for St. Lomans, and in fairness, Killucan have not got the grips with him at all. They haven't got close enough to him, in my opinion, to put any sort of pressure on him. Conrad Riley now. Conrad Riley, he threw the ball. It's going to be a free out, and there's an injury this time. I think it could be to...
Looks like Gary Greville.
I think it's Gary, and down there.
I'd be worried about that. Gary's just come back from an injury, and they look very concerned there on the Killucan line.
Yes, it is Gary, number 25. He's the man on the ground at the moment. He took a bit of a hefty blow that time when he ran into Conrad Riley, and he's still down. In fairness to Killucan, Paul, putting up a decent fight here after that blast that they got early in the first half.
Yeah, no, they've come well back into the game, and they've been creating opportunities, and they're winning frees, they're winning possession from breaks, at kickouts as well, and they're certainly well in the game.
Back on the attack again, knocks it in. Who's going to get there? It's Killucan have it again. It's Kieran Doyle again. Doyle, Chip looks around him, tries and finds a player on it. It's Conor Jordan. Jordan goes past one. He's still going with it. Great run this time. That's a wonderful run this time. But it's chipped up and it's knocked and it's over. It's collected by Jason Daly. It's going to be a free out for
Lomans in there. Is it?
I'm not quite sure what Pat Fox.
Conor Jordan went through there, and he's given half time. That's what it is. Yeah,
a good chance again for Killucan. They could have made something of that as well, I suppose. But at half time here in TEG Cusick Park, in the Shea Murta Senior Football Championship quarter final, it's 3-4 to St. Lomans Mullingar. It's 5 points to Killucan. First half belonged to the men in blue, Paul.
Yeah, certainly on the scoreboard. I mean, they're 8 points up. On the first quarter, particularly, Lomans were very, very dominant. Second quarter, Killucan have come right back into it, and I think I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wides by Killucan in that first half. Even if they were getting half of
and
them,
2 into the goalie's hands as well, Paul.
They'd be well back in contention, and it's kind of a reflection of particularly the second quarter. Killucan have kind of got to grips with the middle of the field. I don't know whether that's because Lomans have decided to drop back and try and defend their lead, or Killucan have just come more into it. But certainly they're creating opportunities, and they've had one super goal opportunity. They had another one just there at the end when Conor Jordan went through, and the ball just ended up being half blocked and dropped into Jason Daly's hands. If that was a point, they'd certainly even be back further. So, I think from a Killucan point of view, they'll take a lot out of that last quarter in terms of they can certainly create opportunities against Lomans. I think Lomans, when they're attacking at pace and getting the ball inside early, they're creating opportunities all over the place as well, and they just haven't really operated at pace for the last 15 minutes or so, and I think they need to go back to that template they had at the start of the game to help them prosper.
Okay, we're going to go to a few words from our sponsors here for this evening, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back to you here in TEG Cusick Park in a couple of moments, and as we say on all the occasions, please support our sponsors.
TEG, proud sponsors of TEG Cusick Park, serving aviation, biopharmaceuticals and medical industries across the globe. TEG has been to the fore in the fight against COVID-19 with our customers and partners. A local business employing local people. Visit teg.com/careers to learn more. Wishing all our GA patrons a safe passage through the championship.
Cusick Park pitch is 145 metres long. Imagine 3 of these bridge beams would make up the length of the pitch. Now transport 30 of them from Harney to Kildare. A challenge overcome by a great team with the support of a great community. My name is Pat Barrett, Project Manager, Shamer to Precast.
There's a light, a certain kind of light that never shone on me. If I ain't got you, ain't got you, baby. You don't know what it's like, baby. You don't know what it's like.
All new Renault Capture SUV for all your lives.
Yeah, we're back here in TG Cusick Park. A first half that's been dominated by St. Lomans Mullingar in this quarter-final of the Shea Murta Senior Football Championship. 3 goals in the opening 13 minutes, in the opening 9 minutes in actual fact, have more than decimated a Killucan side, but in fairness to them, they have struggled back and have got back 5 points since that time. It's been a roller coaster, I suppose, for them. They've been dominated in that opening 10 minutes, and St. Lomans really punished them for their aberrations. 3 very, very good goals, Paul, it has to be said, in total.
Yeah, no, three excellent goals from St. Lomans in those first 9 minutes, and truth be told, that's the difference between the teams as we speak right now. And I think from a Killucan point of view, those kind of wides and balls into the keeper's hands and the missed goal opportunity, only for those, I think the scoreline would be a lot closer. I think. For the second half, it'll be interesting to see, how both teams approach it. Killucan no doubt have to go for it and just keep going at pace at them and trying to create opportunities. Hopefully, get a goal or two. That'll bring the scoreline even closer. I think from Lomans' point of view, the question is, do they kind of sit back and remain tight and confine the opportunities that Killucan may have and just kind of ride the game out, or do they go for it like they went for it in the first 10 or 15 minutes of the game?
You also feel, Paul, I suppose, that if St. Lomans wanted, they can probably up that gear again and probably go and win it. We're going to have a look at a few of the highlights from the first half here. I think this is the first goal here. This was just open spaces for the goal. Absolutely no problem there that time.
Sam McCartney was on his own space. This is Mousy running forward and nobody came to him. Great
work by Heslin here. He spotted that TJ was on the edge of the square that time, and that was a wonderful pass across to get the goal. This is the one. Is this the Killucan's first chance or first score?
I think it might be their first point, where it came back out to Aaron Kiernan.
Aaron Kiernan, yeah.
Over.
He's been one of the few shining lights for them, I suppose, in that first half, Paul.
Yeah, I think Aaron and Kieran.
This is the third goal. I mean, TJ Cox looked to have butchered the chance at this stage, but somehow Killucan managed to get it. It was off the post. Actually, John Heslin did get it off the post, and TJ just happened to be the right man in the right spot.
Yeah, for sure. It was good. This is Ronan O'Toole. He's done this a lot in the game,
but look at the space he had, Paul.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's getting a lot of time on the ball.
Far too much time, in my opinion. For that's no disrespect to Ronan. He's probably creating that space for himself. But if Killucan are going to make any sort of fight of that, you can't be giving the likes of Ronan O'Toole that type of space. This is Foley's one. This was a lovely score, beautiful score off the right boot that time. He started very well, but he's kind of faded out, and indeed the St. Lomans midfield have faded out of it a little bit.
Yeah, no, I mean they haven't been on top since that first quarter. That was a great score. That's Kieran Doyle.
Kieran Doyle kicked 3 points, yeah.
And the platform that Killucan are getting in the middle third for the